The basic argument of antinatalism is that life involves so much suffering that it would be preferable to not come into existence than endure it. The common retort to this argument is that life does not involve nearly that much suffering. After all, many say, I live a perfectly happy and enjoyable existence. For many people, the idea that life involves more suffering than it is worth is silly because they simply don't suffer that much. Those of us living in the first world are spared the suffering that most people throughout history endured, and in many parts of the world continue to endure. Most of us in the first world do not suffer from hunger, do not suffer from disease, nor do we suffer from fear of violence. I put the stress on most of us because there are exceptions, of course. We always have access to clean water, abundant food, and if we should suffer from some physical malady, a doctor will be able to at least alleviate our pain. Because our basic needs are met, we can focus on emotional relationships and frivolous pleasure. What we need to understand, however, is that our relatively suffering-free lifestyle is built on a very shaky foundation. Our entire food production and delivery system is entirely dependent on fossil fuels. Without the steady supply of these non-renewable resources, our entire system would collapse. Our industrial civilization is too resource-dependent to last much longer. It is estimated that the world can only support about 2 billion first-world people. This is due to the fact that our living standard is simply unsustainable and will not last more than a few hundred more years. As industrial civilization begins to collapse and millions, perhaps even billions, begin to die, the more people that exist, the worse things will be, due to the fact that food, water, and medicine will be in such short supply, and will thus be spread very thin. Can we run industrial civilization on non-renewable resources? Perhaps, but do we have a right to take this risk for future generations by imposing sentence upon them? I think not.